Thanks, guys. I am standing right outside of Desert Financial Arena, home of ASU men's basketball. And for the first time since 2019, they were able to make the NCAA tournament off of the production of the transfers this season: Frankie Collins, Devin and Des Cambridge, and Warren Washington, just to name a few. And this past week, after earning a 2-year contract extension, head coach Bobby Hurley's message to the team is even more clear now than ever, and that is to put ASU in a position to win. It's the first of its kind. The Fantasy Fight League released a few weeks ago the first ever collegiate sports video game of the NIL era. The game is titled Wrestling 22, and owner Joe Kanaya helped create it. Sun Devils on Ice have started the season off slower than expected. With a 2-4 record, ASU men's hockey sits a game behind its record through 6 games from a season ago. Don't fret yet, though. The Sun Devils are ranked 48th in the nation, according to Pairwise, ahead of its second series inside of Mullet Arena. They face 22nd-ranked Colorado College in hopes of getting back on track. It won't be easy, but the Sun Devils need to win out this weekend to keep course with the rest of its competition and get back to a 500 record. In its first game at Mullet, the Sun Devils seemingly did everything right. While they didn't put all 29 shots in the back of the net, nor amass as many shots as they should have given their time of possession, the Sun Devils looked solid. They constantly retained possession of the puck in their offensive zone and consistently passed the puck around very well. If ASU can do those things against Colorado this weekend, then they should be in good hands and might walk away back at 500. Back to you guys at the desk. Welcome to another edition of Sun Devil Sit Down. My name's Jack Bartlett. I'm joined by ASU Wrestling head coach Zeke Jones. Zeke, you've been at ASU for a while now. You came and you were part of the 1988 national championship team here at ASU. You came back in 2014 to become the head coach. In the past 2 seasons, you have back-to-back 4th place finishes at the NCAA tournament. I'm curious, just throughout all of the success and the celebration, what has been your favorite or most memorable moment as a Sun Devil?
You just reeled me 35 years of Sun Devil wrestling history, and now I got to pin it down to 5 seconds. That's not easy to do. We've had a lot of great moments. Obviously, winning a national championship was a huge and defining moment. Watching, our guys go on and have fantastic lives, in each of their moments, families, jobs, those kinds of things have been wonderful. I just seeing the program really get back to that place, that the storied history and tradition we had for a long time, and, hitting the reset button now 9 years ago with me, and ultimately now getting in a place where we're trying to swing for a national championship. But there's so many good ones, it's hard to pin one down.
Well, you joined this team when you were 18 years old. Now through all the success, as I briefly mentioned, the 4th place finishes, the championship, you're the only Sun Devil to have won the Senior World Championships. Through all of that, you get rewarded this past summer with a 6-year contract extension. I'm wondering, for someone who's had so much success with this team, how does that feel to be rewarded in that way?
Well, I'm certainly grateful, right? Arizona State changed my life. This university and the people, most importantly the people in it, changed my life. It made me who I am and who, I want to still become. I really love the opportunity that ASU's given me. Of course, new contract's exciting. We love it here, Renee and I and our family. There's nothing more we want to do than live in beautiful sunshine and coach championship wrestlers to help them achieve their dream and goals. So, it's really a lot of fun. I think we're just in a super place, and most of all, that question really just relates back to just being grateful for the opportunity.
And you talked about this briefly, but in 2015, Michael Crow said, I said to Ray Anderson, either we're going to have a wrestling team that's going to compete for national championships, or we're not going to have a wrestling team. So you need to find the best person in the world to be our coach. Zeke Jones is our coach. What does that mean for the president of your alma mater to say that about you?
Well, President Crow was a wrestler, and I think it says a lot. It says that he cares. He cares about, all the people on campus. I think about us, he loves wrestling. He wants to see us be successful. He cares about our men. He cares about my family. He wants to see true greatness. He texts me often, him and I, and he has, 25,000 employees, 100 and some thousand students, and he texts me often, just asking about the team, how things are going. So it's not just a man that wants to see performance and do well. Of course he does, but he really truly cares about the people around the university, and he cares deeply about me and the program. And President Crow's a rock star, man. That guy wants us to be successful, and has given us the tools to be it. And just to preface that, we don't have every single thing you need in mankind to be a championship program, but not every program has it. I think part of the success is having resources, but also going through the struggle to get to where you want to get with, things that are challenging. He has challenged us to be a championship team and to do it in a wise and efficient way, and we've been able to do it. Beat teams like Penn State that have twice the budget, twice the everything, twice the amount of wrestlers that live in Pennsylvania that does Arizona, but we still have what we need to win, and it's a man like him that gives us the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so incredible to see, especially the president of a university, support wrestling when you don't see a lot of people, especially in America, support the sport of wrestling. They don't understand how difficult or tiring or hard or arduous that sport can be, and so I don't think they truly respect or understand how difficult of a sport it can be. So to have Michael Crow there with the support, and to be able, with that support, you're able to beat teams like Penn State. So that is wonderful. But I want to jump ships a little bit to we've briefly talked about the back-to-back fourth place finishes. Anthony Valencia and a couple of the other first believers have said time and time again that the reason they came to ASU was because they wanted to build a dynasty. They didn't want to just go to a dynasty like Penn State or Iowa. They wanted to build it. And so within your time here and with them, you were able to get 2 fourth place finishes. You're knocking on the door to that national title that you guys all so desperately want. What's that feeling like going into this year, knowing that you've brought back hardware the last 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, like you said in the beginning, Anthony, Zahid, Tanner, Shields, and Maruka, Villarreal, they all came here in that number 1 recruiting class when the team was, 56th in the country maybe the year before. And so they decided that they wanted to forge a path less traveled. And when they made that decision to be something that just doesn't plug and play, but they wanted to grow something that was their own, it took a big leap of faith. I'm grateful for them to take that leap. Now they've built that foundation. Now we've had success, some conference championships, some team trophies at the NCAA tournament. And we all know there's that one trophy. We got a trophy, but I'm starting to call it the gold trophy. We want the gold trophy. And, we're not going to stop till we get it. We're committed. We also understand, and we're not blind to the fact there are other teams that want it too. We know that there are other teams that are going to work just as hard, maybe not just as hard, but they're going to work hard. But we're going to make sure that we do everything in our power, humanly possible, to do it. Not only, obviously, as we all say, to work hard, but to work smart. But I think we have the right people. I think we have the right people. We have the right foundation with the right culture. Really just the right mindset. I think how we're approaching it, just with humility and gratefulness, that we're just fortunate and happy to be here and want to enjoy the moment too. It's not just all about this excelling under pressure that we got to win. It's more just having fun going out and really just being ourselves, right? Remembering that when they all became wrestlers at 3 years old, at 5 years old, and even at 12 years old, 13 years old, that they did it because they loved the sport. They loved it. This thing that you need to have the speed of a 100-meter dasher, you need to have the endurance of a marathon runner, and the strength of a weightlifter. That's really what a wrestler is. Those 3 things combined, and they fell in love with it, and now they want to do something special with it and honor those that have come before them, honor those at the university with a gold trophy.
Certainly, you guys have been working hard to honor and win that trophy. You have 2 guys returning to the team who have been to the national championship bout themselves. Brandon Courtney at 125 pounds. Colton Schultz was at the national championship bout against Gable Stevenson at the heavyweight class last season. How are they going to lead the guys to get themselves into position to be in contention for national championships themselves.
Yeah, sure. It was certainly the guys like Courtney and Schultz, right? They've been there. They've been in the finals. They know what it feels like, what it feels like to compete for a national championship individually. And then, of course, you got 3 other returning All-Americans. You got 5 guys that are all going to be knocking on the door of a national title. I mean, they're all guys that are right there. And then you got some other guys that are knocking on the door, who have the same ability those 5 guys do. They just haven't had the opportunity yet, or they're just in that development phase where they're getting there. And now I think they are there. So it's going to take the leadership of the people that have been there. No one's won the title, though. So you got to still be hungry, right? I mean, they haven't won it yet. They've been in the finals. They got as close as you could get without winning it. And I think the way they're going to do that is by feeding off each other, creating that energy. Even though it's an individual sport, you still hand off energy. When Colton or Brandon Courtney gets a come from behind win at the buzzer to win, the next guy coming out feels that energy. So it's really important that we're handing that energy off to each other. But I think, again, just coming back and being rooted in, our purpose. And our purpose is really to just, be men of impact. They decided that they want to be men of impact that forge an unbreakable chain amongst themselves so that each individual link strengthens each other so that they can honor their Sun Devil legacy. That's theirs. That's not me. I didn't come up with that. They did, but on their own. So I think if they do that, that's when they can get in a championship contention.
And you talk about, you guys went to different high schools, different universities, but now you guys are back together. What's it like to play with your brother on the same team? Does that build camaraderie or chemistry?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. So it's our relationship off the court, it definitely translates on the court, but at the end of the day, there's a different role that you're playing, and so you still have to be competitive and, push each other to be great on the basketball court. And so, if we're mad at each other, well, usually we don't get that upset with each other anymore, like how we used to when we were kids. But now, it's just so interesting that, now we're kind of grown-ups and we're men now, and so we can't, fight each other like we used to all the time. And so now we have to use our words, communicate, talk, and we really just got closer as brothers. So it's been real great.
You mentioned that as little kids, you guys brotherly love as some kids. I was the same way with my little brother. He brought out the competition and the competitiveness within me. I'm curious, how have you guys brought out that same competitiveness within each other?
It's not only with us too, it's 7 of us. So, everybody's just trying to compete, be the best and everybody getting their own accolades. So just seeing that pushes each other like in a positive way. So, if everybody's just trying to be great in our family. So, if I'm having a bad day, he'll pick me up or vice versa. And yeah, we always competing. We want to be the best. So we're not going, nobody wants to lose. We don't like to lose. So, yeah.
And going back to the point, Devin, how you finished high school up here in Phoenix, I'm curious, how much of a impact did that have on your decision to come back here to play for ASU?
100%. I was comfortable here. I know people, it's family here, and then just seeing, I never really got to see, I had a team camp here at Hillcrest. I played in here, but I never really got to watch any games or anything. But, I watched some film and watched how Coach Hurley coaches and how he lets his guys play. It was really like a no-brainer. It was sort of similar to how I was playing at Auburn. He lets you run and gun, just play defense. And, yeah, so it was a no-brainer for him.